Recording is on.
Meeting.
Right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, no matter whichever part of the world you're signing in. My name is Cyril Paul, and as the SAR of today's meeting, the Sergeant-at-Arms of today's meeting, it's my pleasure to be the first speaker from BKC Fireflies Toastmasters. Those of you who don't know us, BKC Fireflies is a Toastmasters club that's based in Mumbai, in BKC region of Mumbai. BKC stands for Bandra Kurla Complex. And as a club, we are about 4 years old, 4.5 years old. And in this 4.5 years, we have done several things that other clubs can kind of envy us for. Number one, we produced 2 district champions. We won the district championship once in 2021 and in 2023. And in all the interim years since our existence, we have actually produced podium finishers at the district levels or the division levels in each and every one of those years. On that note, I should also lay down, as the Sergeant-at-Arms, the rules of today's meeting. Rule number 1, please keep your video cameras on if possible, as far as possible. Please keep them off in case you're moving around and, it can be distracting for some speakers. Please keep your microphones off unless you're the speaker, because no one wants to hear background noise. Rule number 3, have fun as much as possible, because we are a club where you come to laugh a little and learn a little. Rule number 4, as a complete voluntary thing, we do not encourage topics of politics, sex, and religion. They are very exciting topics. Everyone's got something to say. Therefore, we try not to encourage topics because those conversations never end. Rule number 5 or 6, I don't remember, is that, like I said, have fun. On that note, we come to the second segment of the meeting, which I call the Sai Jokes session. All right. This is that session where I have our presiding officer, Sai, who shall spotlight himself very soon along with me. Are you already spotlighted, Sai? No. Come. Oh, great. You're spotlighted. Spotlight me as well. Sai, I'm going to crack at least one joke, and it is Sai's mission not to give any reaction at all. You can't even smile. Sai, game face, poker face. Tell me when you're ready. Okay, let me know. Oh, man, that's a great attempt. Sai, here's what you need to do. You know, tell me one word that starts with F and ends with CK.
Block.
I was expecting fire truck. Nicely done. Guys, please give a round of applause to Sai. He played it like a champion. And this is what BKC Fireflies is all about. Champions, past, present, and future. Right? On that note, I should say, roses are red, violets are blue. My time is up. And Sai, over to you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, meeting 126 is underway with the efforts and hard work of our Sergeant-at-Arms, Cyril, who's had a busy day out on the roads, but he's back online. He's with us, and we're happy to have him. He did explain what the mission of the Toastmasters Club is, but let me just lay it out for you explicitly. The mission of a Toastmasters Club, and our club as well, is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth, which means that if you are in a place of life where you are underweight, where you feel that you need to put on more weight, muscle mass, something, come to a Toastmasters Club, because we encourage personal growth. Got it? Get it? Personal growth? No, never mind. Anyway, now we have a few things to talk about, but before we do that, I want to talk about something which I came across not so long ago. It was a quote about Tesla, where people were talking about how Tesla is a failure, it's not able to build full self-driving cars, all sorts of things, and also the negative things. And in the middle of that, somebody pipes in and says, let me quote that, anything's a failure if you ignore all its successes. Which to me was a very insightful commentary on us as people. We all want success on our terms. We want success when we want it, the way we want it, and to the levels at which we want them. But little do we realize that sometimes we are accumulating growth and successes along the way. And that's very similar to what we do at Toastmasters. We are accumulating growth, we're accumulating improvements. And over time, as contests happen and you go and express yourself at work or in your profession, you realize that you have grown, you have succeeded. So if you're looking back at yourself and thinking, this Toastmasters thing is not working for me, I'm not getting the successes I want, I'm not able to rock and roll as much as I want to, please do remember that everything looks like a failure if you ignore its successes. And Toastmasters life is like that. Do not ignore the little things that are changing inside you. Do not ignore the little successes you're having. Maybe you woke up on time today. Maybe you were able to manage your diet better, slightly better than yesterday. Those are the things that count, not a complete 180 turn from where you are yesterday to where you are today. Those things they never happen in real life. In real life, you accumulate small growth, small spurts of growth, small green shoots of growth. And at the end of it, you get a massive tree, a tree which has deep roots and a tree which is all yours, the tree that you have nourished and cherished and taken to the level it's at. So that is what I want to start this meeting with, a note of hope that if in your darkest, deepest, worst days, when you're thinking to yourself that maybe this is not what I should be doing with my life, remember that there is always something you've done better today than you did yesterday. Speaking of doing something better today than doing yesterday, I want to call up one person, Mahesh, who has been with us for about, I would say about 3 months. And last week when I spoke with him, I asked him, is Toastmasters helping you or is it making not much of a difference? And he was kind enough to give me some feedback. Candid feedback, Mahesh, over to you. Please tell us what you thought about Toastmasters.
Yeah, thank you very much. Basically, last year I was in Jamnagar, and recently, only before 8 months, I'm transferred to Mumbai Corporate Office at Nayara. So when I was in Jamnagar, I heard about the Toastmaster Club from the HR executive there. But there was no Toastmaster Club in Jamnagar. They said it is in Ahmedabad. So at that time, it was not possible. So when I shifted to Mumbai, one of my friend from marketing, Pushkar Inamdar, gave the reference of Priyanka from Ahmedabad. So that way I connected to the Mumbai Toastmaster Club. So I was very willing to join the club right from Jamnagar days. So I was very excited once I got the membership of the BKC Fireflies, which is nothing but a small wonder. It is not just in the name, it is in actual. Actually, it is a small wonder. I have been to Ahmedabad Club also on 2 occasions, but there is something new, something different in the BKC Fireflies Club. So when I joined, my expectations were clear. I wanted to improvement in 4 to 5 major areas. First one was I wanted my confidence level to build up. Second, I wanted my presentation skills to be improved. Third, I wanted to improve upon my modulation part of the speech. Fourth, even though I am very good in humor in the local language, but I was not able to use it in the English language. So I wanted to inculcate this humor also in the English language during the presentation, during the speech. So these are the 4 main purpose of joining the BKC Fireflies. With that, the final aim was to remove the public fear, the stage fear. So with these 5 goals, I joined the club. And I'm happy to say that at least 2 goals I've achieved right till now. At least confidence level has increased to a great extent. The stage fear is removed. My presentation skills are slowly improving day by day. But the 4th and 5th, still the work is under progress. The modulation part, as well as inculcating the humor in the speech. So that too is the work in under progress. But I've started the application of this whatever learnings I am there in the BKC Fireflies in the company as well as in personal life. Whenever there are some any birthday is there, or some farewell party is there, or any get together is there, at least I take the opportunity to give the speech. In the last 3 months, I have given 2 speeches during such occasions. One speech during the farewell party of my friend, and second during the get together in our company's party. So I've gained the confidence. The stage fear is removed. The last 2 part, the work is in the progress. So I'm very thankful to the BKC Fireflies Club.
Thank you very much, so much, Mahesh, for sharing your journey with us, sharing the little things that have improved and the stuff that needs to be worked on. We also got a message from someone, from an old Firefly, a person who was with BKC Fireflies 6 months ago and then moved on. He sent a message saying that he was able to give a toast at his friend's, at an important person's wedding. And the toast was very well received by the entire family, by his friends, by the elders of his family. Everybody loved it. And he was very grateful to people like Cyril for helping him deliver a toast of that much quality. So good job, everyone, for supporting each other and building a club and building a great culture at this club where we love and support each other and become eventually the small wonder of Mumbai. I have a couple more things to talk about, which are exciting from a club level. We have been awarded the Express Award, which is an award for the club which has met its DCP goals, which I'll explain next. In half its DCP goals, it is our DCP goal is to hit 10 points, and we've reached 5 of them already, and more than 5. If you've hit those 5 goals, 5 points, plus you've added at least one new member, you are eligible for the Express Award, and our club has achieved that. Since July 1st, which is about 5 months ago, we've been able to do this much, and this award is a recognition of that. DCP points is a pointing system using which a club's quality is measured. It consists of a bunch of points that you get for finishing speech goals, membership goals, administrative goals, like our club offices getting training and things like that. So we've been doing all that really well. We've achieved 6 out of the available 10 points, and our goal is to hit all 10. And we need the support of all the new members, people who are still finishing their levels. Please finish your levels and let the VP of Education, Sandhya, know that you're finishing your levels so that we can register them with Toastmasters International and achieve all 10 goals, which is going to be our target for this year. This year ending June 30th, 2024. Right. I have a couple more things. We have to invite, so starting January, our XCOM term will be changing, and we will be inviting a few people to join the XCOM, people who are expressing interest and who've reached out to us on their own accord, and also people we've reached out to. We'll be inviting a few people to join the XCOM, and we have roles like the treasurer, the sergeant at arms, and the VP of PR available. Please do join. We'll also look for people to shadow the existing officers. By shadowing, we mean assist the existing officers in doing what they're doing, so that you can watch and learn as they're doing it, and then next time when those vacancies become available, you can join the XCOM in those capacities. So please do let me know if you're interested in taking up an XCOM role at BKC Fireflies. And two pieces of news which are very exciting. One is that our next meeting, the meeting on December 7th, will be held from 7:30 p.m. This is because a lot of you have expressed that the 6:30 p.m. is too early in the day for people to attend. It's right at the time when they're commuting back home. So we're moving the meeting time for the next meeting to 7:30. We want to see how it goes, if people are able to come or not. And this will be communicated more officially to everyone. And if this experiment goes well, we might consider moving our timings permanently to 7:30 p.m. Same time, the rest of the schedule stays the same. We'll just start a little bit later, 1 hour later, and then also end 1 hour later, which will mean that we end by around 9 to 9:15 at night. That's the exciting piece of news for people who have not been able to use Toastmasters to the extent they want to because of conflict of scheduling. And finally, let me make sure that the person I want to spotlight has a camera on. Where I saw Rashmi. Rashmi, your camera's not on. Come on. Yeah, I see you. And please also enable your video, because I wanted to ask you your experience at the area conference.
Okay, thank you, Sai. So it's been a couple of months since I have joined Toastmasters, and this was the first in-person any kind of session that I attended on last Sunday. So it was a wonderful experience. First of all, you got to see how big the community is. You know, each event, for each event, there were like so many volunteers who were playing multiple roles like we do in the club itself, and taking up various responsibilities and ensuring that the event is, streamlined and runs smoothly. Everything is taken care of. Everything is well planned. So, just a fact that you're part of such a big community and event which is being organized by volunteers is being done in such a professional and planned manner itself was a good experience, to to be there. And apart from that, I also participated in that evaluation contest by by fluke, but yeah, I was there. So that also, again, that was the first in-person Toastmaster session, like I said, I attended. So, and that too a contest. So in terms of, uh, first of all, the experience of the setup, the environment, the paper was given by the organizers, the cell phones were taken. I almost felt like I was back in school or back in college when some of these things were done. So, and then, they took the participants to the to the holding room, where obviously you were not allowed to talk or refer to your notes. The entire process and the way people were following it to the T was really, really interesting and also a little bit intimidating at times. However, it was also a wonderful experience in terms of just going there and giving that speech. Ultimately, you realize, okay, it is nothing but just a speech. At least that is how I finally decided to go with that speech, not take too much of pressure. So that was interesting, and like, so to overcome any fear, the best way is to face it. So in a way, I think once you if you have done it once, then the next few times become easier, at least in terms of addressing that fear. And secondly, like Sai mentioned, you are growing incrementally on a daily basis by just being part of the Toastmasters. And probably you don't realize it on a daily basis, but when it counts, it comes to your rescue, and you feel a little bit more confident, little bit more prepared to deliver that speech. So that is something I think I felt while I was, so from my first evaluation speech to my last evaluation speech, I could see the difference, in terms of growth, in terms of experience. Just those 3-4 speeches had made, and it was also about listening to all the other speeches in the club meetings, that I
Rashmi, I'm going to jump right in and also include Sandhya because she was part of the area conference, except she was doing it remotely. Sandhya and Rashmi, both of you, congratulations on your amazing performance at the evaluation speech contest. Sandhya, you were chosen the best evaluator for the area in the area conference. Rashmi, you came second. Both of you will be going to the next level, to the division finals happening in December, which again, you have a choice of attending it online or offline. Rashmi, I'm hoping that you'll be able to go online, in person again for the division conference and keep the BKC flag flying. And finally, I have a surprise. Let me see if I can. Yes, I have a surprise for everyone. I'm sure even. Yes. Does that face look familiar to anyone?
Our first VPE of the club is here.
Yeah, hi,
And
everyone.
quite slim, slimmer than before.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the chartering, founding, number one, numero uno Vice President of Education of BKC Fireflies. I don't know if you're a current Toastmaster or former Toastmaster. I'm going to just say Toastmaster for life, Kashif. Kashif, a few words from you, and then we'll move on with the meeting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sai, for that wonderful introduction. Still remember, the first few, the very early days of when we started this community in our co-working space. But it is great to see that where the club has reached, and I think the people who I remember who were there when we started, Sai, Sandhya, they've been there, and I think it is a very commendable work by both of you that, to see where Fireflies has reached. And, I couldn't be more proud. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to join. I also see that Cyril is probably another one of the members who's here, the very early members, but the other faces are relatively new. Unfortunately, I haven't, due to whatever my laziness or the schedule, I haven't been able to join. But yes, if you shift it 7:30, that's good news. Maybe I will be able to. It'll be good for me. I'll be able to join, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, these days I'm in Lucknow, enjoying the good weather here, and with my parents. So that's. I think that is all. I won't take too much of the time, Sai. I think we should start the meeting.
Thank you very much. We have a bunch of guests, but Sitara, you said that your audio is not working well, so I'm not going to put you on the spotlight. Once your audio gets fixed, give me a thumbs up. We'll get you on spotlight and talk to you. Without more from me, I would love to call up our friend, a cafe owner he's also a PhD. He's a bunch of really cool things. And that person who's going to be your Toastmaster of the evening is Toastmaster Saurabh Patil. Saurabh, the meeting is all yours. Where do I? Oh, your video is not on. How do I spotlight you? Saurabh, are you there? Okay, I guess Saurabh is going to start his video later. I'm going to remove myself from spotlight and let Saurabh do his thing. Oh, Saurabh, will you be able to talk at least? Or are you still looking for a spot to park? All right, Saurabh is a little bit busy. So what I'm going to do is I am going to continue talking to a few more of our guests because he's saying that he's firefighting a little bit. Fireflies, firefighting. What else could what else can you ask for? Preeti Ann is joining the meeting. I saw Tulsi joining. Do I still see Tulsi in the meeting anywhere? Sitara, what's your audio situation like? Is it getting any better? Oh, your video's on.
My audio got better, but by the time you had moved on, so I did not want to interrupt.
All right. So how did you find out about BKC Fireflies and what brought you to this meeting?
So I have done a little bit of Toastmasters previously. So for a brief bit, I was working with Reliance and I was stationed at Jamnagar. So we had a Toastmasters club called RG Speakers Toastmasters Club. And my experience over there has been pretty pleasant, positive, and to some extent, my delivery, I believe, has improved. So post that, I did my MBA, then I moved to Mumbai for my new job and everything. So the Toastmasters thing took a backseat because I got a little busy with everything and settling down and all of that. So we just, me and my husband were discussing the other day, and I was telling him about how great my experience with Toastmasters has been. So my husband reached out to Cyril. His name is Shantan Roy. He reached out to Cyril, and Cyril extended this invite to us, and we decided to give it a go and see if we can make it work, because the experience for me personally has been pretty good. So, and listening to all the participants over here, I feel that this is also very lively.
Very nice.
So looking forward.
So RG Orators and BKC Fireflies has a close connection.
Okay.
Our friend Cyril recently had a baby, and one of the members of RG Orators, Riddhi, do you know Riddhi? I don't know if you know Riddhi, but she's part of RG Orators. She has the VP of Education.
I was RG Speakers. I was a different club, Reliance Green Speakers. So
the story still is that we got cake because of Riddhi's efforts. She made sure that we got together, had cake delivered to Cyril. But yeah, welcome to BKC Fireflies. Happy to have you. And why is your husband lurking in the background? Ask him to come join
us. He just got back from office, so it's been a little bit of a mess. Yeah. Both of us have.
I'm just joining in.
No worries. Take your time. I saw you in the background. Like, is he just curious but not committing enough? Is that how it is?
No, he's the one who forwarded the invite.
Actually, I got in touch with Cyril for a brief introduction, and he introduced very nicely what you do and what it is all about. And I was looking for quite some time for joining Toastmasters, but somehow I couldn't make it. But I saw that you basically conduct it online, so I thought, why not start? But unfortunately, today only I got stuck in near BKC signal for 15-20 minutes. Good, and normally come back around 6:30 from office, but today was that bad day maybe. So.
But the good news is that we're thinking of moving our meetings a little bit later. So we will be able to accommodate even people who get stuck at the BKC signal for more than 20 minutes. We'll be able to accommodate people like you. So welcome. Please do join whenever you get settled in. I know you just gotten from work, but settle in and please join us for the meeting.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to drop you from the spotlight and now check once more if Saurabh is ready to take charge of the meeting. Saurabh, is your video on? Yes, your video is on. Ladies and gentlemen, without anything more from me, your host of the day.
Hello, good evening. My apologies for being so late. You know, being in the hotel industry, it's always a firefighting situation at the last minute, wherever you are, whenever you are. But let's keep that aside. Let's get on with this amazing meeting. And this is me, Dr. Saurabh Patil. I'm going to be your Toastmaster of the day today for this meeting. And we're going to enjoy one of the funniest, interesting, and it's lots of discussion about this topic, millennials. Okay. Do you guys know who millennials are? And why do they call themselves millennials? Anyone, please raise a hand.
It is born before 2000. Yes,
Anyone else?
Born, I think, between 1980 and 1990.
I
Close by.
guess between
Yeah.
1980 to 1997.
Yeah, that was pretty close. So millennials are someone who are born from 1981 to 1996. And the reason why they are called millennials is because they turned adult by the end of the millennium. That's the reason. And there is a lot of controversy, there are a lot of rumors, there's a lot of discussion about if the millennials are lazy or are they misunderstood. So let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. Let's embark on a journey to demystify the most secret about the millennials today. Those elusive creatures who are caught in the crossfire of either being termed as lazy or are crying because they're totally misunderstood. First of all, before we begin, let's look at the lazy level. Some millennials are lazy because they enjoy the luxury of working from coffee shops. I started working from coffee shops. I have my own cafe in Mumbai. And the reason why it all happened is because I was working in coffee shop in various countries. But does this give liberty to people to term us as lazy? I'm a millennial myself. I'm born in 1986. So I can call myself millennial or Gen Y. But who wouldn't want to be the world-changing ideas over a cappuccino or a macchiato or a simple green tea? Who wouldn't want that? Who would want the boring cubicle in the office for the innovative ideas? Why not let these creative ideas come out of coffee shop? It's not laziness, trust me. It's an innovative thinking with a cup of coffee on your side. Having said that, let's begin with our role players today. Moving to our role players, let me call them one by one and let them explain their role to you. First, let me call our timer, who is our VP Education, Sandhya. Sandhya, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. And good evening, one and all. As the timer, it is my job to time every speech that will be spoken at this meeting. For the prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, I will be showing the green card. I will be sharing my screen at that time. At 6 minutes, I will be showing the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will be showing the red card. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. As the table topics and the evaluation segments happen, I will then announce the time guidelines for those at that time. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Sandhya, for explaining your role in such a wonderful way. Now, to our next role player, the R counter. Let me call upon our R counter. It is. I don't see the R counter here.
Toastmaster Bhuvi.
Bhuvi. Toastmaster Bhuvi. Yes. I think you're on mute. Bhuvi, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, apologies.
No problem.
I was saying, greetings, Mr. Toastmaster, and thank you for the introduction. I will give a brief introduction of an explanation of what exactly is the purpose of the R counter. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. So during the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including er. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Bhuvi, for explaining your role. Now we move to our last role player, that is the grammarian Pari Lalani. Over to you, Pari. Pari, I think you're on mute. Please go. Are you guys able to hear her?
Pari, we can't still can't
Pari,
hear
we
you.
can't. No, sorry, we can't hear you.
You are mute.
It might be
It's
with your-
probably the earphones.
Yeah, can
Maybe
you try removing the
now the
earphones,
earphones.
disconnecting them? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, clear.
Clear.
We can hear you now, Pari. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
No problem.
Okay,
Go on.
all right. I want to share the word of the day as a grammarian first. The word is chuggy. I've shared it on the chat. Chuggy is an interesting word. It's a slang word to describe someone who's no longer trendy or cool, someone who's a wannabe. And I'll give you an example of usage. My sister is always behaving like a chuggy when she's surrounded by other people who are trendier than hers, and we cannot stop her from being so embarrassing. So that's one way of using the word. My other duties are generally to look at, to listen out for good grammar and not so good grammar used during the meeting. Also, creative use of language and not such good language. But generally, it would be creative, good language that we all learn from, we all want to use and should use. So, and I'll give my report at the end of when my job is done. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, grammarian. Now, we all saw all the three role players. They explaining the roles wonderfully online. And, the way we see technology has evolved so much after COVID. We are having Toastmasters meeting online. And that's where the tech obsession comes. Critics claim that millennials are glued to the screens all the time, just like we're glued now to the screen for a Toastmasters meeting. But let me tell you, that's not laziness. It's what we call as survival in the digital jungle. We are mastering the art of finding the best memes, the viral videos, life hacks, while the rest of us are still trying to figure out how do you turn on the microwave or how do you turn on the mobile phone. See, that's what the difference between lazy or maybe being termed as lazy is being totally misunderstood. Let's explore more about this millennials. Before that, let's get into our interesting session of prepared speeches. Now, to start with the prepared speeches, let me call the evaluator one for the first prepared speech. So let me call upon Rashmi, who is the evaluator one for the first prepared speech by Mahesh, to explain about the speech and the speaker. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. So today I'm going to evaluate Mahesh, Toastmaster Mahesh. So he has joined Toastmaster in order to fine-tune his storytelling and vocal variety skills. So the purpose of his speech is using vocal variety and body language to enhance his speech. And he's going to speak on chess leadership. Chess leadership, Toastmaster Mahesh, chess leadership.
Thank you, Evaluator One, for explaining about the speech by Speaker One, Mahesh. Mahesh, before you start, let me ask you one question. What do you think? Why do you think the millennials are misunderstood?
Can you just repeat why millennials are
Misunderstood.
Because of the, I think, first and foremost thing, because there is at least 20 years the generations. So because of generation, the thing changes and the trend changes. So that could be the one of the foremost reason for that.
Absolutely, that is one of the reasons, and there are many more reasons we will be exploring ahead. Okay, Mahesh, can you see the timer?
Yeah.
Okay. So, speaker one, Mahesh, chess leadership. Chess leadership, speaker one, Toastmaster Mahesh. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. A very good evening to all of you, to all the Toastmasters, to all the leaders. Today's topic is quite unique and quite interesting. It will certainly help you to achieve more success in life. So are you ready to become world-class leaders? Who want to become world-class leaders? Please raise your hands. I'm not able to see, but I'm hopeful that everybody wants to become world-class leader. But I'm extremely sorry to say there is a saying that leaders are born, not created. But don't worry, I have a magic wand. We can create world-class leaders if we play the game of chess. Physically, we didn't need to play the game of chess, but we need to learn key leadership lessons from the game of chess. It's quite interesting. So are you ready? Okay, let us start learning the key lessons. Before we start, let us dig out some history of the game of chess. I'm very proud to say that chess originated in India in the year 600 AD in the form of Chaturanga. Chaturanga stands for 4 wings of the army during the Gupta period. And after that time, it spread in different parts of the world. Finally, the chess name originated from the French word chess. It means failure. With that, we'll start learning the key lessons. Lesson number 1, believe in teamwork. In the game of chess, different pieces have different strengths and different weaknesses. The elephant can go only on straight line. The camel can go only on inclined path. The horse can go only on L shape. The most powerful queen can go anywhere, as usual in our daily life. The poor king can move only one step. But all of them are required to win the game of chess. Similarly, in real life, in personal as well as professional life, we need to believe in our team, their strengths, their weaknesses. We need to unleash their potential to achieve success. Lesson number 2, sacrifice. In the game of chess, many times you have to sacrifice a piece to win the game. Also, on many occasions, you have to take a step back to win the game in future. Similarly, in real life, a person has to sacrifice many things to achieve success. He has to sacrifice his leisure time. He has to sacrifice his sleep. He has to sacrifice his bad habits. In business, we have to sacrifice bad products. Also, if there are weak links in the team, we need to sacrifice that team member also. We have to take that hard decisions to achieve success. So lesson number 3, planning. In the game of chess, it is said that a grandmaster thinks 50 moves ahead before making one move. 50 moves ahead. Just imagine, before making one move, he thinks 50 moves ahead. Also, after initial 3 moves from each player, there are multiple variations possible. Can anyone guess that how many variations can be possible after initial 3 moves from each player? Any wild number?
1 lakh.
Anyone else?
10,000.
That's a quite trivial number. The real number is after initial 3 moves from each player, there are more than 9 million possible variations are there. So it's a very whooping number. So similarly, in real life, uncertainty is the only certainty. Life is not going to be green all the time. So we have to be ready with plan A, plan B, plan C. There will be so much dynamism in the market. So if you are ready with different plans, you can achieve more success. Lesson number 4, lead. So in the game of chess, who is the most powerful among all the pieces? Obviously, in personal life also, the queen is the most powerful. So there is no need to apply our mind. The queen is the most powerful. She can move anywhere, all the times. But when is the player considered defeated in the game of chess? Only when the king is defeated, when the king is dead. So when the leader is dead, you are lost. Similarly, in real life, in any business or any personal task, you need a leader to guide, to motivate, to inspire people. Because if there is no leader, then you will go in different directions, and efforts are being wasted. And lesson number 5, small efforts, big results. In the game of chess, the pawns moves back and forth, but slowly it tries to move ahead because small results yields big results. Similarly, in personal life and professional life, the small efforts gives big dividends and big results in personal, in business life, in professional life. 1:365 is only 1. But can anybody guess what is 1.01:365? Any maths wizard is there?
1.37.
1.01:365.
1.37.
Okay. It is 38.
37.
Yeah, more than 37. So just 1% effort every day in 365 days, you can be 38 times more improved version of yourself. You can improve to that extent by only 1% change every day. So these are the 5 key important lessons we can learn from the beautiful game of chess. Lesson number 1, believe in teamwork. Lesson number 2, sacrifice. Lesson number 3, planning. Lesson number 4, lead. And lesson number 5, small efforts. Regarding sacrifice, I remember the quote from the famous movie Bazigar. कभी कभी जीतने के लिए कुछ हारना पड़ता है और हार कर जीतने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं. So that's all. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Speaker One Aish. That was a wonderful lesson that we all learned today. Timer, do you want to explore the timers or should we do it later on?
I can give my report after the 2 speeches.
Okay, done. No problem. So let's move on to our second speech today. Let me call upon the evaluator 2 for the second speech, that is Priscilla. Priscilla, can you just explain about the second speech?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My target speaker, Toastmaster Niyamat, is attempting her level 2 project 1 speech. And the purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. All the best, Toastmaster Niyamat.
Thank you, Priscilla. Let's just spotlight speaker 2, Niyamat. Okay, great. Thank you. Niyamat, are you able to see the timer? Timer screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
I can see.
Just a sec. The timer is sharing. Are you able to see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, let's start. Toastmaster Niyamat, learning by doing. Learning by doing, Toastmaster Niyamat. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow guests and Toastmasters. Attempting to start and attempting to deliver a project in Toastmasters requires us an investigation into our personal lives as well as literature and the world around us. I recently took a trip to halfway across the world, all the way to the United States of America. And that allowed me to really explore my own self and how much I could expand as a person. And this project requires me to understand a little more about my leadership styles and how one actually can be more effective or more convincing as a leader. However, I was stumped at the first question. Does everyone actually want to be a leader? Or are people more happy to just be followers? Why do we put that big an onus on just being a leader? And why is it so not liked to not be one? Why do we always want to be at the forefront of things and not just want to be one amongst the many who are convinced by a higher authority or higher figure and willing to be a part of the crowd? Does that make us less than what we think we would be? And that's where I was stumped. And I thought, why not let us go back into history and try to figure out why we're talking about being leaders. And interestingly so, when I was visiting Washington, D.C., I visited one of the museums, the African American History Museum. And for those of you who've had a chance to visit or not, I'll quickly share what my learnings are from there. Needless to say, African American history has a wide range of culture, a lot of disparity, and a lot of the rich history that they come from has somehow been subdued because of all the disadvantages that they have faced and all the ways in which they have not been able to come to fore. And what happens in times of such drastic changes in society? There are few people in society who want to come forward, who want to speak up, who want to make sure that their voice is heard. And so, in this fantastic museum, which is nearly, I think, 4 stories tall, and they have also built it in such a manner that during the time of the civil rights movement, during the time of African slavery, the way the slaves were actually shipped from one place to another, the way the ships were designed, that's how the actually museum has been designed. So it's cruel and it's painful. At the same time, it is an important memory to everything that happened at the time. But what struck me is that it also has a very positive element to it. They have very nicely curated and picked out those important figures in history who stood out and who actually made sure that their voice was heard. One promising and most important name I think we all have heard was Martin Luther King Jr. And what struck out to me was that when I talk of leadership styles, I would talk of those leadership styles as being authoritative, not democratic, and bureaucratic rather than being altruistic. I'm just throwing these names at you, but do we really know what it means? Would anybody like to just point out here that what would it mean and why would it be required that one had to be a bureaucratic at that time rather than being a democratic leader, as we would say that all our nations should be today? All right, let me answer that for you. So at the time when there was so much turmoil and there was so much going on where people were really being subdued and not being allowed to speak up or actually just have human values and rights, it was required that there were some people who knew better, chose to stand up and speak for the remaining. So this leadership style was extremely important at that time because over there, people did not have a voice of their own, or even if they did, they didn't have the confidence to come to the fore, to stand at the helm of the affairs. And so that was one interesting standoff for me, that what really depends on how you are a leader depends on how your audience is, or how the people and the society around you is. If today I have a much more convincing audience or a much more aware audience, my style of being a leader will be much different, rather than a time where, let's say, the time of Hitler, where it was an absolute autocracy or bureaucracy, I'd say, where he was completely ensuring that only he and he alone was in charge. And that tells you that when a leader is such, that is what the outcome will also be. And we have seen the outcome. We have seen world wars as the outcome. Moving on from the past, we move on to the present. And I take an example from my personal life. When I came out of the museum and I walked back home, and I took a deeper reflection into my own style of how I have been living, I saw that I was being imbibed into a culture of academics and teaching, where I had people who were not authoritative, or if they had to be, they were more convincing. They were more people who chose to be more of a pace setting and innovative in nature, meaning that they wanted my opinion to be heard. They wanted me to participate in whatever decisions had to be taken forward. And how I choose that to imbibe in my personal life. Today, I intend to be a teacher. I am a teacher, so I have the ability to impact individuals in front of me. And that's why this question keeps coming back to me. If and when I do choose to be a leader, what kind of a leader will I be? I choose to be a leader that has not only a decision making ability, who not only has the authority, but as we rightly know, that with great power comes great responsibility. I, along with the authority, need to also have a democratic and coaching ability, so that I involve each and every person to partake in that particular decision, and I'm not the only voice in that whole game. And so, in this journey from understanding our history, walking into the present of the people who have impacted my life, I chose to make a different outcome and impact my future decisions by choosing to be a democratic leader. And with that, I rest my case and I hand the reins back to Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Niyamat, for the important key aspects of leadership. Now, let me tell you something about leadership and millennials. They both have a common thread, it's about the strategic thinking and adaptability. Oftentimes, millennials are criticized for alleged impatience, but actually they demonstrate dynamic leadership styles along with innovation. They're very collaborative. And they strategize in such a way that they embrace flexibility and innovation. They're very quick to adopt to technologies, but that's again misunderstood. Excuse me. A lot of old folks, a lot of critics might find that millennials are chuggy, but considering how they hop jobs, how they do home gigs from home, maybe remote work, the way we are attending these meetings as from our respective homes. But that's not laziness. That's what we adapt to the technology. That's what we adapt to convenience, and that's what the millennials are, good in utilizing the time productive in a better way. Moving on, talking about adaptive. Let's move on to our next segment, which is an impromptu segment. We call it as the table topic session, where we'll be given one topic and we'll be speaking on that topic for lesser time than the prepared speeches. So let me hand over the reins and call upon the table topic master, who is none other than our own president. Oh, so we have, sorry, the table topic master is Nidhi, who is going to give us some amazing topics, and we're going to hear some amazing speakers throw a light with their insight on those topics. Over to you, table topic master Nidhi.
Thank you, TMOD, for this warm introduction. All this time you have heard about millennials, millennials, millennials. So by this round, I want to encourage all the Gen Z or the other Gen X to share their insights on this generation talks. So let's have this Gen talk. First, let me tell you what Gen talk is all about. we will be exploring the generational diversity by providing a platform to unravel the intricacies and the variations which defines each age group. So let millennials know that not just millennials are cool, but the other generations are also capable of that. Through this engaging conversation, this theme seeks to bridge the gap between the generations and fostering some mutual comprehensions and appreciations. Participation will delve into this unique perspective, values, and experience of millennials, Gen Z, and beyond, which creates a space where we share some illuminates the common thread as spoken by TMOD, which will connect us across the ever evolving tapestry. So, let's join this Gen Talk for enriching dialogues that transcends the age boundaries and cultivate some deeper understanding of the varied journeys that shape our collective narrative. Timer, please explain the timing areas for this table topic. I would like to call Toastmaster Sandhya, which is the timer of the day. Can you just brief us about the timings?
I will be very quick with this. The time rules for the table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, I will be showing the green card. At 1.5, the yellow, and at 2 minutes, the red card. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. And I want to also point out to one thing that we're running behind by 7 minutes. So let us make this quickly. Over to you, table topics master.
So I would like to first pick the old Toastmaster member of our club, Mr. Kashif. Are you there? Yeah, hi Kashif. Yeah, so the first question would be like for you, it would be what's one defining characteristics you associate with the millennials, Gen Z, or the other generations apart? You want me to repeat the question?
No, I think that
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you. Is just me or
I think his voice is breaking.
um, can you guys hear me?
if you have some issues, we'll get back to you later. Let me pick someone else by that time.
Hi, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Okay, great. So the question is that, what are the defining characteristics of millennials, Gen Z, and others? I am a millennial myself, and my view is, and I think this view has kind of become, I have got around to this view as I've gotten older, is that, different, we want to kind of stereotype people as millennials and as Gen Z and others, but I don't really believe that, and with my due apologies to the Toastmaster of the day, my personal view is that it's not ideal to kind of stereotype people into each of these different categories depending on which generation they were born in, because age, it is just a number. And this, I'm becoming more and more clear about this as I get older, and as I get more perspective on this topic. I don't think that the opinions or perspectives of a particular generation are defined by their age. It is more defined, I think, by the maturity which they have, and maybe some of that maturity might come with age, but a lot of people who are very young are much more mature than the older people. So that's my view on this, and I'll stop here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kashif. Now let me pick some other guests quickly. Oh, Sithara, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Yeah, hi, Sithara. So first, tell me about, are you millennial, Gen Z, or Gen X?
I'm a millennial.
Okay, we all have millennials as a majority. So my question to you is, How do you think technology has shaped the way different generations communicate? You want me to repeat the question again?
No, I got it.
Thank you. Over to you.
The way how different generations communicate has always intrigued me. During the time of our parents, I don't know which gen we'll categorize them into. For them, their mode of communication was a letter, a phone call which would be done once you reach your destination, or some sort of communication, a telegram in case of an emergency. So this was the mode of communication that was used by our parents. And as we grew up, we had landlines in our homes. Then we had that first miracle of a mobile phone, which by the time we got into colleges was a norm. Then we started having all of these social media platforms, which allowed us to remain in touch. I think that is something which was very unique to our generation, because for us, we have never learned what it is not to be in touch with our near and dear ones. That is a feeling which only our parents will be able to associate with. So I believe we were the first generation who never ceased to communicate. And as the next generation, that Gen Z comes up, they, I do not believe, even know what a dial phone is, or would never even understand what a landline used to mean to us, or the long hours of chats that we would have with our friends on landlines. And as Gen Z communicates, it's just even the terms that they use for communicating with each other, the slangs they use. I'm pretty sure that every generation that comes one after the other would consider then the previous generation to be chuggy. I believe that was our word of the day. So I see the reasons why, because the way we communicate, the way we think, the way we associate with things are so different generation to generation. But all in all, I believe every single generation has hit that sweet spot. There is a lot to learn from each other. And for me, personally, being a millennial, I've always been intrigued with Gen Z and the way they have always had a clarity of thought. So that's my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Satara. Thank you so much. Now, let me pick another guest. Tulsi, are you there?
I don't believe Tulsi is there anymore.
Okay, so let me call upon Manoj.
We have a volunteer. Dishant wants to do it.
Okay, Dishant. Thank you. So, Dishant, can you please turn on your camera? Yeah. So, Dishant, my
Okay,
question.
1 second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can turn on my camera, but I'm in my office premises, so I think I will keep it off so that I've minimized the screen. If that's okay. Is it okay?
I think your voice is breaking for me or in general.
Yes, there's an issue with the voice.
No, I was saying, is it okay if I keep my camera off? I was in my office premises, so I'm not very sure if I should keep my camera on. I was connecting to my laptop. So is it okay if I keep my camera off and participate?
Yeah, it's okay. But I think camera open would be suggested, preferred more. So, never mind. Dishant, tell me one thing. In your opinion, what's the biggest misconception about millennials or the Gen Z? According to you, what's the biggest misconception about your own generation, whether it is millennials or Gen Z? Over to you.
So I can speak for both. Is it so? I can chime in for both.
Okay, sure.
I I think for Gen Z, I think I don't like how Gen Z. So I'm a millennial, and I don't like how Gen Zs are associated and how they are demonized for a lot of things. I mean, they become a center of mockery. Instead, they should be protected and nurtured more from millennials. I personally don't feel they get a lot of support from millennials, and I feel that millennials should act like a guardrails to them because they have access to so many resources. They are two steps ahead of us, but no one teaches them to have boundaries. No one teaches them how to where to take a pause, where to stop. So that's where the other generation comes into picture. But we don't act so inclusive is what I feel as a millennial. We look down upon them for so many other reasons, that they had access to so many things, that they try to act smart. I mean, of course, they would be smarter than us because, I mean, at, at our age, they've mastered how to use Chat GPT and so many other things. They're good with building connections. But I still feel that a lot of things, at a lot of instances, millennials should step in and try to nurture them and try to reassure them about a lot of things where they lack. Because that's one of the reason that a lot of Gen Z end up having a lot of mental health disorders. Because it's like you have a platter full of all 20 different desserts, and that anxiety of it alone makes you feel very not so good. So I personally feel that uh, Gen Z are looked down upon, and they become the center of mockery way too easily. And anything at any point, if they try to overachieve something, or even if they try to do something good, we give them tags. Oh, look at them! They're being so pretentious. They're being so loud. They're being blah blah. I mean, we give them different adjectives. So I personally feel if other generations would have been a little more comforting towards them, it would have been better. Yeah, that's my take. I will turn my camera next time, maybe.
Okay, thank you, Dishan, so much. I will next pick Tulsi. You were volunteering last time. Tulsi, are you there? Yeah, thank you. So Tulsi, I want to ask you, like, what's a trend or the cultural shift you have noticed that separates the one generation from the another? For instance, the grandma to your parents, from your parents to you, like.
Okay. So the cultural trend, right? Uh,
Yes, the cultural trends. Yeah, go on.
So, like I have seen my grandma was a dancer, a classical dancer. So I also used to learn dance. So I have seen like in that generation there was more focus on classical dance, and now there's more focus on hip hop, contemporary, or any other ballet dancing, anything else. Because I was also learning classical dance, but my more focus was on I was like learning Punjabi as well. So it was like I loved that dances more. It was like the music was nice. It was in trending. The music were trending, and we liked that music, because in classical we are not able to understand anything. It's like going with the beat. So yeah, I used to learn even salsa. So I used to like that trend. Used to like salsa and Punjabi rather than Odissi. So yeah, they used to learn the beats. They even used to learn the song, and they used to understand, and they used to dance. But now we are like into contemporary. We are in the flow of that songs and in that generation. So yeah, I have noticed this cultural gap between that and this generation.
Okay. Thank you, Tulsi. Thank you so much. Now I would like to pick Manoj. Manoj, are you there?
Yes, yeah.
So, Manoj, I want to ask you, if you have to describe your generation in one word, what would it be and why?
Why to describe my generation? Let me describe me. So if I
Uh,
have to describe me, it has to be a museum piece fit enough to be kept in any museum for people of next generation, the millennials, Gen J to come and watch me. So because I do not understand much about AI, I do not understand much about ChatGPT, trying to get a foothold, but still, because the new generation, if I explain their ideologies, they're smarter, swifter, and quite intelligent, of course, using all these gadgets. But I remember a line written by the Nobel laureate T.S. Eliot. In one of his poems, he writes, "Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information?" So nowadays, there's information explosion. And all these generations belong to that information explosion. But after information comes the knowledge. And when knowledge is applied in life, then you get wisdom. So that aspect of wisdom may be lacking in the present generation, which they need to learn from the older generation, the museum piece that is speaking in front of you now. So then maybe if they put me in a museum, they need to visit and ask me question, tell them path they need to follow to reach their destination. Because most upon these millennials, I find the new generations, I find they're a bit confused, though they're quite realistic. When I say realistic, yes, they're burgeoning coaching centers, burgeoning old age homes, nothing bad about it. I think it's quite realistic steps. But still, sometimes they get confused. And when they got confused, there is no one who can show them the way. They feel quite lonely when they're confused. So there comes the role of people like me, of the elderly generation, written up to be kept in museums, to show them the path to go ahead so that they live a healthy and happy life. Because that is what is required at the end of the day. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Manoj. Thank you so much for explaining it to the very well. Now I would like to call for the one last table topic. Amay? Yeah.
Hi, very good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Yeah. Amay, so the question is, what's the one piece of advice you would give it to someone from the different generation?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. One piece of advice which I would like to give to someone who is from, let's say, Generation Alpha or the previous one, Generation Y, Generation X, I would say that just be you. Like, you have to be yourself. You need to hold on to your originality. You don't have to worry about being judged or something like that. Because the most, like, let's take, for example, let's take the newer generation, the Generation Alpha, who are the new ones. They just, do something or be more aesthetic or just wanna be chewy or something like that, just to look cool, just to look aesthetic or that, because they might think that okay, that this XYZ guy is cool and something like XYZ guy has this many amount of followers. I need to be cool. I need to look good in the photos or something like that. Something like that. That you can tell them that just you don't have to compare yourself to others, just be yourself. And if we say to the previous generations, let's say for Generation X or Generation Y, which are the previous generations, I would give a piece of advice that just pass on the uh, good rituals, good rituals, or the previous table topics, which was about the generation trends we were talking about. You can pass on to that, because it has more of the maturity comes over there, the decisive nature comes over there. So that thing I would like to convey to the both of the generations. I spoke about the previous ones also and the upcoming alpha ones as well. So that is my take on piece of advice for both the generations. Over to you, Table Topics Master. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amay, so much. And thank you all the guest members who have actively participated in all the sessions of this Triple Topic Masters. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master Nidhi, for conducting these sessions so well. And I heard so many insights about, millennials, what they should be doing, what the Gen Z, how they are, what is the trend, what they should be doing, and what should not be misunderstood, what should be understood. There is a lot about that. And let me tell you one common thread among the millennials and the Gen Z or the Gen Alpha, that they are always diversifying the skills. Anybody who can be a graphic designer at one time, but it can be, they can be working in the cafe. So they're always versatile. It's not laziness, it's versatility. Okay, moving on. Let's call our general evaluator to take up the session and look at the reports by the role players. Okay, let me call upon our general evaluator, Lalatendu Sahu, who will be taking up the session and asking the role players to declare their reports. What do you general evaluator?
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster and guests. I am Lalatendu Sahu, the General Evaluator of the day. Here, I would like to invite the timer to present. Invite the timer, TM Sandhya, to present the report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'll be very quick with my report. With prepared speeches, Toastmaster Mahesh qualified. Toastmaster Niyamat took a little more time than what was allotted. Table topic speakers, all speakers except for Toastmaster Dishant have qualified. So congratulations. Now, as far as the evaluation segment is concerned, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. So I will show the green card at the end of 2 minutes, the yellow at 2.5 minutes, and the red card at 3 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Sandhya. Now I would like to invite AHA counter TM Bhuvi to present the report.
Thank you, General Evaluator Lalatendu. I'm now going to present my report, starting with Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Saurabh. Toastmaster Saurabh had 5 R's, and I'll split them now. So he said R thrice.
Bhuvi, just one quick second, please. I need to raise a point of order. We need to get the evaluations for the speakers done first. So maybe the GE could call the evaluators first and then do the R counter reports. Okay. And the tag team reports.
Okay, thank you, sir. Then I would like to invite the evaluator TM Rasmi to evaluate the TM Mahesh.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So thank you, Toastmaster Mahesh, for your enriching speech. Like all your speeches, I learned something new in this speech. And thanks for teaching valuable lessons about chess and life in a single speech. So today I'm going to evaluate the speech on the use of vocal variety and body language. So in terms of clarity of voice, I felt you did a good job. I could understand each and every word, and the pacing of the speech also helped in ensuring that the words were clear and the message was delivered. Secondly, in terms of vocal variety, while I definitely saw some good use of vocal variety, for example, when you ask the audience, "Are you ready?" The question and the message was communicated to me. However, I feel that you can do a little better when it comes to vocal variety and try to modulate your voice a little bit more while talking. Secondly, in terms of eye contact, I think it was very good, and the connect was throughout the speech. Then in terms of gestures, there was a good use of gestures throughout the speech. Since your speech had lessons of chess, you effectively used 1, 2, 3 and showed through your fingers in terms of gestures. Some of the gestures could have been little more deliberate. However, I still feel that you did a good job in gestures. Then in terms of engaging, so you did ask a lot of questions from the audience, and therefore your speech was engaging, and I was engaged throughout your speech. Then in terms of unintentional movement, since it was a Zoom speech, I feel that you did a very good job, in terms of controlling unintentional movement. It was very minimal, and your gestures and body movement was quite purposeful. So again, the last point in terms of purposeful movement. So I really liked when you actually stepped back from the camera, because that really communicated, what you were trying to communicate through the speech. So adding maybe a little bit more of such movements to your speech would have been insightful and helpful in terms of delivering the message. So to summarize, I think the use of vocal variety could have been better. However, in terms of clarity, in terms of gestures, and in terms of comfort level, it was quite engaging. And not to sound chuggy, over to you, general evaluator.
G, I think you're on mute.
Okay, sorry, sir. Now I would like to invite a TM Priscilla to evaluate a TM Niam.
Thank you very much. Master Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, my target speaker, Toastmaster Niyamat, and fellow Toastmasters. Today, our target speaker took us on an emotional journey that is very, very emotional and very nostalgic occurrences. Toastmaster Niyamat, I loved your storytelling to convey your message. Stories are always the glue that connects the thoughts of the speaker to the audience. The second thing I enjoyed about your speech was that you were so smooth with your vocabulary and your use of the English language. You used adjectives and language that made me visualize what you were talking about and made me feel the emotions that you were experiencing. The way you asked rhetorical questions, one after the other, was very, very intentfully used. Now, how can you take this speech to the next level? Whilst you were very smooth in your linguistic delivery, I feel that your voice modulation was lacking. This would have really taken us into your journey and taken us with you on your journey. If you had modulated your voice low sometimes when you were experiencing the low emotions in the museum and high other times. I also feel that your camera was not positioned properly, and hence it appeared as though you were looking up at times. I was not, because of the positioning of your camera, I was not able to understand whether you were sitting or standing. And if you were sitting, I would highly recommend that when delivering your speech to stand, because it gives you more leeway with your body language and your gestures. I also feel that you should have reinforced your leadership skill and your leadership style a little more vigorously in your conclusion. So, all in all, a wonderful delivery of word wizardry and smooth operating of the English language to deliver your message. If you take note of vocal variety, logistics of your camera, and giving that very strong conclusion, I think you're going to become a force to be reckoned with, and we will see a lot more of you in the future. Good luck, and I hope to be evaluating you more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, TM Priscilla, for your precise evaluation. Now, I would like to invite auxiliary role player, counter, TM Pari Advani. Sorry, counter Bhuvi Gupta. Sorry, my apologies.
Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator Lalatendu. I will now be presenting the our counter numbers for all the speakers. So to start off with, Toastmaster of the Day Saurabh had 5 such R's in the various portions of his speech. Pari had 0. Rashmi, who was the evaluator 1, had 1. Mahesh, speaker 1, had 1. Priscilla, evaluator 2, had 2 such breaks. Niyamat had 4. Table topics master Nidhi had 3. And moving on to the table topic speakers, to start with, Kashif had 5 plus such breaks. Sitara 1, Dishan 6, Tulsi 5, Manoj 0, Amay 6 plus, and Lalatendu, I haven't observed any such R's and ums from your end. So that's it from my end. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Bhuvi. Now I would like to invite TM Puri, the grammarian of the day, to present the report. You are not audible, ma'am. You are on.
Me now?
Yes, you are audible
Yes.
now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll start with the good bits first. The word of the day, chugi, was used only 4 times, and 3 times it was pronounced correctly. I didn't use it. I should have. I want to share some good words that I thought were really good to use. A word that presents a whole sentence would be something like curated. I loved that word, curated, especially selected or presented is what it means. To imbibe in my life, I just love that as well. And the word burgeoning is a wonderful word to use. We rarely use it, and it's very emotive as well, like that. Good creative uses of the language. To overcome fear is to face it. Another one was the ever-evolving tapestry. How creative that is. And I think that's all for the good usage. I'll go to the grammar that could be better. Someone said every speech will be spoken. A speech is delivered. I wanted to implementing. It's better to say I wanted to implement. I won't take too much of the time. You don't need of the. I won't take too much time is a better way to say it. And not good use of language. People are still using the useless word called like, and it's nothing to do with love and liking someone. So 2 people used it. So is, of course, very common, but like, I'm glad only 2 people used it. Don't. It has no meaning. So thank you. That's the end of my grammarian report. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Puri. Thank you, TM Puri. Now, this is the time I think I present my general evaluations for the meeting. Before I present my general evaluations, let me be true that I am a new member of the Toastmaster recently, around 4 months before I joined, and rarely becomes the general evaluator. So my may not be as expected as you, maybe. Second one is that how much meeting I have attended. Perhaps this is the only meeting I have seen which has started on time. Okay. Otherwise, meetings used to be little late because of technical glitches, because of members coming late. But this has started on time. So I appreciate all the members, especially President and TMOD, to and SAA to start the meeting on time. Then here I saw that SAA explained the general introduction or given the general introductions exceptionally well. The presiding officer, TM Sai Ramchandran, welcomed the guest and given importance of the Toastmaster and the meeting format well. Here, the president also welcomed TM Mahesh, I think the guest of the day, to express his views in the on the Toastmasters itself. President informed the achievements of the club and the recent achievements achieved by the club and motivated all the members to complete their personal goals or level so that the Toastmaster club can achieve a great height. That is a great thing. And because of that, more and more people may join the Toastmaster, and those who have joined will complete their levels as soon as possible. Here I say that TM Rasmi express our experiences well on the evaluation speed and completion will help others. And these competitions participation in inter-club competitions will help others also to participate in inter-club competitions. Well, I congratulate TM Sandhya and TM Rasmi for their achievements. Both of them got first and second. I think TM Rasmi got the first and TM Sandhya got first and TM Rasmi got the second. I think so, if I am not wrong. It is good. Second, TMOD introduced the role players well. Role players have also briefly stated their purpose and their role well. This is quite rare, but I have seen that the role players used to come and introduce themselves and express their roles quite well. And it is good to see that evaluators inform the evaluation and introduce the speaker. And here, in generally, TMOD call the speaker and introduce her. Here, for the first time, I have seen that evaluator informed the process of evaluation and welcome the speaker. That is good. And I find a lot of good things, but I generally do not see. The word of the day is used. The grammarian already informed only 4 times. I hope that it should be used more and frequently. The table topic master TM Nidhi conducted the topic very well. Speech evaluators and other auxiliary timers, they have done their well. Good. One thing only I would like to say that the speaker, yes, as the evaluator says that the speaker should stand up and give their speech so that they will have express better body language. Second, I do not know whether in my club they used to ask that set up a background or make it blur so that the real background shall not be visible. My evaluations is this much. I rest my evaluations here. Thank you. I pass on to TMOD today.
Well, thank you, General Evaluator. Now that we are running short of time, I'm going to keep it very short and conclude this session. But yes, I do agree with Kashif and many more who mentioned that let's not be quick enough to judge anyone, be it millennial, be it Gen Z. You know, they're not lazy. They're just playing the game of expert mode, be it scrolling down from the phone or watching any videos. It's just a fine art. So, yes, the misunderstood multitaskers and the champions of remote work, the millennials. Cheers. Now I'm going to move on the session to our president, Sai Ramachandran, to take over and conclude. Over to you.
The first thing I want to say is that congratulations, BKC Fireflies meeting 126. We were running behind on time, but we managed to pull everything back. 8:04 is excellent time to conclude this meeting. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back and make sure your watch is set. You didn't have to move your watch forward too much to make sure you caught up on time. Thank you very much. And I'm going to quickly launch the polls. And while that is happening, I'm going to start talking to a few of our guests, people who we've not heard from yet. Please do vote. And while that is happening, let me see if I can talk to I have a special guest that I want to hold for later. I'm going to keep that person in my back pocket for a little while. Sayantan, you said you'd join us and you did. Are you in a position to turn on your video and talk to us?
Yeah, hi. Yes, I'm there.
All right, let me look for your video so I can spotlight you along with me. So what was your experience like? Did you think that this club deserves the name BKC Fireflies, or should it be like BKC Useless?
No, definitely. Actually, I saw one video also because Cyril shared one video earlier before I basically made up my mind to attend a session in real time. So definitely it is worth the time, and I learned a lot of things from the feedbacks that different evaluators gave at different point of times. What happens normally when we speak, so we tend to forget or miss out on those subtle things that might be improved. So on that front, I benefited a lot today, and I think going forward, definitely it will be helpful for me as well.
You know when we meet, first, third, and fifth Thursdays of the month.
Yeah.
Right now it's 6:30. Maybe once we have a few meetings at 7:30 and we see better uptake of meetings, then you might move to 7:30. So please do come back and visit as much as you want. Be a guest as long as you want. When you're comfortable, if you choose us, great. If you choose some other Toastmasters club, that's perfectly fine as well. So thank you for your feedback.
Thank you.
From the man to his better half. Can I see Sitara? Can I find Sitara somewhere? Sitara, is your video on?
Yes, hi.
What is your feedback? Did we do anything well, or is there room for growth?
No, the session, it felt really good, and I really loved how the feedbacks were shared in such a constructive manner. So, of course, everybody here is a lot more experienced and better at us than framing things. So, a lot to learn from everybody. So, the session went really well for me.
Thank you so much. Let me remove you from spotlight for a second and see if I can find Amaya. Amaya, I really like your name. It's a pleasing.
Just a minute. Yeah, hi. Very good evening.
Add you to spotlight. Anything about the meeting that you liked? Things that we can do better?
No, actually, I really enjoyed the meeting. And first of all, I need to apologize because I joined the meeting, I think, half an hour late after the speeches were gone. That's typically me. Like I'm late at my work, I am late at my gym and everything. So yeah, and it was a tough day at work. So I was like, kind of, let's do something different. Like we work every day 9 to 5. I'm like, let's do something else. Let's join a random meeting and see what's popping. And I saw the theme of the meeting that was says the millennials thing, and I was serving as presidency in millennials Toastmaster. I was a previous member over there, so I was like, let's go and see what's popping, and let's have some after work rituals.
I want to say that this is new lingo I'm learning from a millennial. What's popping? I don't think I've heard this before, but
I know, right? Gen Z alphas, there are so many new lingo and everything coming up.
All right. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. So you basically had a good time, except you're always running late. So we have a solution for that. We're going to move our meeting time back so that we definitely catch you and other people like you who are always running behind on time.
Definitely.
Pari, I'm going to take 10 seconds of your time to ask you how you found the meeting and what we can do better. Oops, is your audio still giving you trouble? It is. We can't hear you. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an executive decision, Pari, and hold you in the back pocket again. We had one person who's part of BKC Fireflies who's not been able to speak today. Suniva, give me a thumbs up if you can speak to us for 10. I know you don't want to turn on your video. You're not in town, so you want to keep your video off. But if you want to take 10 seconds and tell us what you're doing and what you're up to, so that we know that we can hear your voice and we can give you a chance to speak. Suniva, are you there? No, I guess Suniva is not going to be able to speak. In which case, let me see if this surprise that I have in store for everyone, we're able to execute the surprise. Yes, we are going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Mr. Gio Varghese. Let me give you a little bit let me tell you a little bit about Gio Varghese. Yes, he looks like he's flying in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, but no, he's not an eagle. He is a firefly. This man is the original breakout star from BKC Fireflies. He joined us in our second or third meeting after the club chartered. He was the first non-chartering member to come and join us and grace us with his wit, his knowledge, his funniness, his amazing storytelling. And he represented us multiple times at different levels. The highest being the district level, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, my son is moved to tears by Gio, it looks like. Okay, fine. So yes, my son had to be carried off. Gio, you made an impact on my son too. Anyway, so Gio, sorry, I don't want to take too much of your time. Gio, tell us what brought you back to BKC Fireflies.
So obviously the Zoom link brought me back today for the meeting, but thanks to Cyril who forwarded it to me, and that got me back to the meeting. So happy to be back at BKC Fireflies and happy to see all Toastmaster Sai. Very happy to see you and hear you. It's always a pleasure to hear you, right?
And I just wanted to mention that today is the day of homecoming because Kashif is here as well. I don't know if you remember Kashif.
Hey Kashif, how are you? Where are you?
He's all the way out in Lucknow. And
wonderful.
Is this
Hey.
maybe
Hey, Kashif.
same screen? That'll be fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Wonderful.
very good to see you, Gio. And I very fondly remember our initial days and all the speeches which you gave. Although I don't remember the speeches, but I remember that they were very good.
Likewise, my dear friend. Likewise.
I'm sure you remember the one. His most famous line is that Mumbai. It's Mumbai for us. Mumbai has fire and it has flies, but only in BKC do you get both you get BKC Fireflies, and that line has stuck with me ever since. I use it all the time, and I always give credit because that's not an original. Gio, that is a wonderful joke that he made. Much better than all the side jokes I have to listen to. Anyway, thank you guys. So glad to see you guys again. It's been
pleasure.
Yes.
Same here.
All right. I think the results are in. All the votes have been cast, and it's my job now to announce the results of what we. Hey, Cyril wants to say something. Cyril, go ahead. Do I see you? Where do you see it?
Sorry. In defense of side jokes, I wanted to say that you don't like them because they are one-sided. They're one-sided.
Why did I bother spotlighting this guy? Why did I even think that he has something important to say? He never has anything important to say. Anyway, I have some good news for a few people. There are 5 questions that we asked. Was it 4 questions? 4 questions we asked of the audience, and here are the results of those questions. Let me give the results. Let me give the vote that is the closest. The best evaluator was a tight neck-to-neck race between Rashmi and Priscilla, and in the end, Priscilla edged out Rashmi by a couple of votes. Priscilla, you've been nominated or been elected as the best evaluator for the evening. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. All the way from South Africa, or is it Ahmedabad? Are you back in Ahmedabad?
No, I'm back in Mumbai.
Mumbai. Oh, wait. Is your daughter in Ahmedabad?
My daughter is now in Delhi.
Man, your family's a mobile family. South Africa, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Delhi, all over the world. All right, let's see. The next close finish was for the best table topic speaker, and the room picked the lady in red. Sitara, do I see you? Where do I see you?
Hi.
At the spotlight.
Yes, hi.
Congratulations. We thought that your story that you told us was the best story for the evening. 2-minute story that you told about your grandmother dancing. Oh no, there are somebody else's story.
Different stories. More than communication.
Yes. So those are the ones that we like the most. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Then, what else did we do? We voted for a couple other roles, and that was, let me do the auxiliary role now. One person from South Africa, the other person from Kenya. Pari, the room thought that you were the best auxiliary role player for the evening. Your grammarian's work was not chuggy. You were not a wannabe. You were the real deal when it came to being the grammarian.
Whoa, it's time for Africa.
Yes, so Priscilla, in case you're looking for a club which meets somewhere along your time zone, when you're in South Africa, of course, Pari's club meets in person, but they also meet online a couple of times a month, I think. So more details to follow if you want. They meet in Nairobi.
Thank you.
Whoa. His eyes. Finally, our primary role player, the person who asked so many questions that we lost. We didn't know how the answers to. Nidhi, where are you? You were the best role player. I don't know how to find the list of participants. Nidhi, you were the best primary role player for the evening as the table topics master. Congratulations in selecting topics that the room liked and wanted to engage on.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, it's sorry, go ahead.
No. It's like, I hope you enjoyed that. That was again the first time I was being in a row. I'm doing these role plays, which is the first time I'm doing in this club.
Right. Saurabh, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I really like the way she picked up on the topic and the way she continued it and took it in the flow. Amazing one.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Good work, Nidhi. And we have Mahendra from all the way from Malaysia, who's joined us as well. So
yes,
Mahendra, how did you like the meeting? Could we have done something better?
okay, meeting was good, but I would just like to get some information. This club is from in Mumbai. Is it based in Mumbai?
Yes, it is based on. I mean, we started in Mumbai. We used to meet in person in Mumbai, but because of the pandemic, we moved to the online mode, and now we're mostly online.
So you're no more in person, virtual. You're online club now.
Yes,
because
for the most part.
I visit Mumbai. I may be visiting Mumbai next 2 months.
We have a bit of a plan to meet in person in January, but more details to follow. I'll definitely make sure we communicate that with you. And if you can plan your trip to India around the time we have a meeting in Mumbai, that would be wonderful. We'd love to see you and maybe hear you.
Normally somewhere in February or April.
We'll do it again. We'll have 2 meetings in that case. If you definitely come.
I've attended a Mumbai club meeting once in person. Ahmedabad, I've attended twice. And Kumarapalli, I attended once.
But BKC 0 times, and we feel bad. We're going to make sure that we have a meeting when you're next in India.
Okay, I'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much.
I enjoyed the meeting.
Oops, did I disconnect you? Yes, we enjoyed having you as well. You're always a pleasure and a privilege to listen to you, Mahendra.
I could not take part in table topic.
We were running late on time. I kept pressuring the role players to move fast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need a club in Malaysia, if you're visiting Malaysia and need a friend to talk to, Mahendra is there. He is now a retired, I guess,
tax officer, tax consultant.
Tax consultant. Yes, I was going to say CPA, but I didn't know if CPA and tax consultant are the same thing or not. But yes,
no, depends. CPA is a qualification. Tax consultant is true experience.
So if you want to save money and you want to save Malaysian money, then the person, or maybe it's international, who knows? The person to talk to is Kumar Mahendra. He is recently retired. He's 85. He sounds like he's 60. If you see him, he feels like he's 50. But he's 85. He just recently retired, and he's joined the second time he's joined BKC Fireflies, and we're always happy.
I think you got it wrong. I'm 78.
See, I'm getting older.
I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. I gave a wrong figure sometime.
It must be me. Maybe I misremembered something. 78.
It's okay.
It's still not. You seem a lot more sprightly than what I imagine 78-year-olds to be. But I'm only imagining things. I'm not there yet. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to end this meeting and I'm going to remove myself from spotlight. We do have a celebration to enjoy. Two of our members from our club have won the area contest. We want to spend a minute or so with them. If you guys want to hang out and join us, let me invite our winners, Sandhya and Rashmi. Rashmi, are you there to maybe tell us how you plan to prepare for the upcoming division contest? Let me stop recording.
Sorry,